Hello! I'm sure this is the moment that some of you at least have been waiting for. This is the voice reveal. This is my voice. No, I can't exchange it for another one, sorry. But yeah, if you haven't seen like the 3 videos that have my voice in them, or haven't joined a call on Discord, this is very likely the first time you've ever heard my voice. So, hey, how you doing? I just want to say thank you for the support on the last season of PirateGameThing that just wrapped up. It was supposed to be a lot bigger of a deal than it ended up actually being. I cut down the scope of that project several times. It was originally supposed to have like commissioned art and a more thoroughly thought out story. I know that stuff probably doesn't matter to anyone, but it's something that I wanted to try. But over time, and of course the pandemic starting right before I was able to make my first video, that ended up sort of killing my motivation, and I ended up cutting back the scope dramatically. So it just ended up being this weird thing with a weird story that was made up on the spot and didn't really make sense. But I think the actual gameplay part, at least, ended up being probably my favorite videos I've made so far, some of them at least. Being able to put more informative content in the videos, just getting more out of what I was creating. That was pretty fun. Now that it's wrapped up, you might be wondering, why is my voice being pumped into your ears right now? What's going on? Well, kinda have some bad news. The text format, the video format that I've been using for 6 years now at this point, it's probably not gonna make it. So what do I mean by that? Well, for the longest time, I've felt that the text format that I've been using for these videos has been very limiting. It limits my creativity, it limits how much I can actually put into the videos. I can only work on one video at a time, which is why uploads tend to come out so sporadically. I want to make sure that when I start on a video, I'll hopefully have something to say about it, because once I start working on a video, it's sort of like, if it's not good, then I've wasted so much time, like several hours of work. And it's happened to me before, and I just wanted to make sure that what I was covering was something that could end up being turned into a full finished video. It's very tiring to work on those videos because nothing is scripted beforehand. Everything I have to come up with on the spot as I'm watching the footage. So that leads to countless hours of watching the same video clip over and over again, the same footage, trying to come up with stuff. I end up forgetting stuff that's actually important and end up covering stuff that's not nearly as important instead. And I feel like the text format was something that worked really well when I was younger. I started this channel when I was 12 years old, if you didn't know. I'm 19 now. And over time my videos have gotten more substance. Before they were just, it was all visual effects, maybe some stupid lines that I thought were funny when I was 14, but now it feels more like I want to make more like reviews, if that makes any sense, and I can't really do that with this style. Over time, you could see, especially in the most recent season, I have tried as hard as I can to inject as much information into this type of format as possible, but it just doesn't really work, I don't think. You can tell that it's sort of something that feels like it's on life support, like it really is trying to be something that it's not, and I don't think it's gonna work out for much longer. Well, it's still fun to work on that type of video. I don't find myself enjoying it nearly as much as I did back then, when I didn't have to think as much about it. If you look back and watch my older videos, you'll probably see that I didn't really put much effort into them. I really didn't care if it turned out good or bad, because it was just something I was doing for fun. But over time that sort of stopped being fun. It's not really something that I find enjoyable anymore to do in that style, and I find that I have the most fun when I'm able to slow down and sort of collect my thoughts and write them out. The sections of the videos where the gameplay pauses and there's just like a huge wall of text, I know that sort of interrupts the flow, but it just ends up being my favorite part of the video because I'm not just coming up with random bullshit to say. Like, it's actually something that you can take away from the video and have learned something, and that's great. I like that a lot. And I just want to be able to do more of that, and I think in order to do that, I'm sort of gonna have to change the way I make videos. And the start of that is using my voice, like you're hearing now. I hope it sounds good. I'm sort of still learning how to use my equipment. I bought a new microphone. I'm in like this booth with like a sheet behind me and stuff, so hopefully it sounds okay. My room isn't treated, so it might sound a little garbage right now, but I'll see what I could do about that. So let me know if there's any way I could adjust my audio and all that. I actually tried recording this yesterday, but I was talking really excitedly and I lost my voice, so that's why maybe I sound a little more monotone than I did yesterday, so hopefully this is a bit better. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit boring. What I want to do with this, let's just call it the Pirate Game Thing reboot. I don't know if it's going to be Season 9 or if it's just going to be something new entirely, but what I want to do is make it more like your sort of standard game review setup where it's scripted, I have all my thoughts laid out, there's a structure, and of course it's not going to be purely informative. I'm gonna try to inject as much of my sort of style into the video as possible. Of course, you can't have a video that I make without exaggeration, hyperbole. That's not going anywhere, I hope. So I hope to make sort of a good blend of information and comedy, if you can even call it that, just so that hopefully it doesn't feel too distant from what I've been doing for a good 6 years now. And I get the feeling some people might be a little concerned about the accessibility of my videos going away, because I know there's a lot of people who watch my videos who English isn't their first language, and also I'm probably not the most clear English speaker you've ever heard. So just to make sure those people are taken care of, I want to make it a point that I'm going to subtitle every single video with the YouTube closed captions feature. Now, it would be great if this could also expand to other languages, but I'm not bilingual and I believe YouTube removed the community contributions feature, so I'm not sure if that's something I can really do. But I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving any viewers in the dust if they do want to give what I want to try out a chance. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I haven't scripted this, but basically I want to cover games in a more review-like fashion, and hopefully I can also diversify my content a bit. Like, maybe I can review hardware, like stuff you can buy on AliExpress, all that. I feel like that might be some fun content, and maybe bringing back the multi-carts, because those videos, while they were a bit of fun, they were also really tedious, and when I tried doing it again a couple years ago, it actually turned out to be really boring. So hopefully that's something I can bring back, because those things, they can have some pretty interesting stuff in them. And maybe this is a long shot, but maybe I can do stuff that isn't related to bootlegs, like just normal gaming content. I would love to talk about games that I actually like for once, but this might not be the place for that, so just let me know if you'd be interested in that. I might end up making a totally new channel for that, I'm not sure. Of course, I'm a little bit worried about how this is gonna go over, because I know that people, when they subscribe to a channel, they subscribe for a very specific reason usually. Hopefully, at least, the people who subscribe to this channel like the type of content that I was making. And I don't want people to feel left behind because this sudden change of content, like completely changing the style, so I'm a little bit worried about how this is gonna go over. It kind of feels like cheating, you know? Like, you didn't subscribe for this, you didn't subscribe for me talking into this microphone and scripted reviews and all that. You subscribe for PirateGameThing, and it's gonna be a learning period for sure. It's basically like I'm starting from scratch, but I'm willing to take this risk because I've sort of been tired of the PirateGameThing format for a while. For a while I actually thought I was tired of PirateGameThing as a whole, and that's why I don't believe I ever told anyone this outside of Discord, but PirateGameThing episode 50, which ended up being Aladdin, that was supposed to be the hard cutoff. That was when I was going to just end it and stop making videos. But then I had the idea near the end of 2019 for season 8, so I decided, okay, for all these people who have watched this long, I'll do one more season. And then my channel doubled in size, so yeah. If this was a change I was gonna make, I probably should have made it then. I probably should have made this change at least 3 years ago, but I didn't. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because 3 years ago I was 16, and over that time I've grown, things have changed, I've changed. One of the things that made this channel special to me was that it's something that wasn't really connected to me. Like, I could say whatever I wanted over text, and it wouldn't really matter because it wasn't coming out of my mouth, it was just something I typed on the keyboard. But now I feel like I'm sort of past that. I know I still have a lot of growing to do, but hopefully I can make something better than my capabilities were when I was 16, you know? And I'm especially glad that I didn't do this when I was 12, because there would probably be nobody watching right now. For those of you who watched my old original videos, as to why you're still here, I don't know why you subscribed in the first place. I hope you've noticed how much things have improved, and I just want to put forward my best effort to continue improving and to make something that hopefully now both of us can enjoy. I'd love to hear everyone's feedback about what I can do to make my videos as good as possible. I'm gonna start trying to write videos very soon, so I'd just love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you want to see, what you don't want to see, just all that. And if you decide that you just don't want to hear this voice ever again, I don't blame you. Just thanks for sticking around, and see ya, I guess. But if you haven't left already, thank you. I really hope that you'll give what I have in store a shot. It'll most definitely be better than this unscripted mess. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. I might have a couple questions up on screen that I would love to hear the answers to, but I can't think of right now. And hopefully you'll look forward to whatever I put out next. Because I am definitely looking forward to experimenting with my content finally. After 6 years of essentially doing the same thing, it got really tiring. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.